Brennan Johnson scored a 96th-minute winner at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as Spurs beat Brighton 2-1. Heung-min Son was back after 6 weeks after spending time away with South Korea at the Asian Cup. Spurs are now back in the top 4.
Chris Cowlin. Fan cams. Club news. Transfer news. Match previews. Legend interviews. Spurs winning. Press conferences. Covering everything Tottenham and England.
Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Spurs in the Media, where I'll be going through all of today's newspaper articles. Spurs 2, Brighton 1. We'll also be looking at all of the player ratings from today's national press. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you listen to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's start with a report from the Daily Mail today, and the main heading states Spurs sneak it at the death. They have also published this wonderful picture of Brennan Johnson scoring Tottenham's winner in the 96th minute. The subheading states Johnson hits last gasp winner, but Ange blasts complacency. Ange Postecoglou has waited months for a chance to unleash his full repertoire of attacking options, and when he did, they delivered him a breathless victory in the 6th minute of added time. The report then states that Brennan Johnson hit the winner, hurtling into the penalty area to complete a sweeping counter-attack move featuring James Maddison, Richarlison and an inviting low cross from Heung-min Son. We just about probably deserved it in the end, said Postecoglou, but he admitted his team was second best in the first half and accused them of complacency. We took a few liberties with our football, our effort and our work rate, a few things we have been really good at this year, we just didn't do. Now, the player ratings from the Mail on Sunday today, they have given Vicario a 7, Pedro Porro a 6, Romero a 7, Van der Ven a 7.5, Udogie a 6, Sarr an 8. They have given Bentancur a 6, Sub Son a 7, Maddison a 7, Kulusevski a 7, Sub Basuma a 6, Richarlison a 7.5, Timo Werner a 6.5, Sub Brennan Johnson a 7. Now a report from the Observer, and it says here, Johnson punishes Brighton ambition with late stunner. This was the kind of Premier League match you could watch all weekend. Two sides sticking to their alter attacking principles of their managers and never afraid to take a risk. Now the possession in the game, Spurs had 51% of the ball to Brighton's 49%. Shots on target, Spurs had 6 to Brighton's 2. Total attempts, Spurs 16, Brighton 5. Now a report from the Sunday Express today, and it's got this wonderful picture of Brennan Johnson and Richarlison celebrating right at the end. It says Gambler Ange has winning hand with Sarr and Johnson. Gutsy Tottenham dug deep to again display their top 4 credentials as Brennan Johnson struck a 96th-minute winner. Now, also in this report from the Sunday Express today, it says Spurs have now collected 16 points from losing positions in the Premier League this season. Only Liverpool 19 and Manchester City 17 have won more, which reflects a shift in mentality under boss Ange Postecoglou. Now, man of the match, Pape Matar Sarr, great energy and Patrick Vieira-like presence in the middle of the park. Player ratings from the Express today, Vicario a 7, Udogie a 6, Sub Davis a 6, Van der Ven a 6, Romero, Porro, Bentancur all 6s, Sub Basuma a 6, Sarr an 8, Højbjerg, Sub a 5, Kulusevski a 6, Sub Johnson a 7, Maddison a 7, Timo Werner a 6, Sub Heung-min Son a 7 and Richarlison a 5. Now a report from the Sun newspaper, this double-page spread with this picture of Brennan Johnson finishing it off at the end. It says, all right in Brend. Johnson pounces to boost top 4 bid. Brennan Johnson delivered a fitting climax to an excellent game with a dramatic late winner that sent Spurs back into the top 4. Also in this report, it says here, late arrival from world-class Son makes difference. Ange Postecoglou hailed world-class Heung-min Son as he returned from Asia Cup disappointment to help his team to a dramatic win. Postecoglou said he finds the right pass. When you look at his record in the Premier League, the toughest league in the world, his goal contributions, irrespective of how the team's gone and the time he's been here, have always been right up there. Even this year before he left, he was probably the best attacking player in the competition. I thought we did well to recover his absence. Richarlison stepped up in terms of the goal threat and a few other players. But to have a world-class player back for the run-in is brilliant. Now for some stats published by the Sun newspaper. 36 Spurs have now scored in 36 consecutive Premier League games, with only Arsenal 55 between May 2001 and November 2002 ever having a longer such run in the competition. And all three of Brennan Johnson's Premier League goals for Tottenham have now put them in the lead. He's now either scored 2 or assisted 2, a goal in each of his last 2 home league games for the club. A couple more stats published by the Sun newspaper. Passes, Spurs 525 to Brighton's 471. Completed passes, Spurs 445 to Brighton's 391. Touches in the opposition box, Spurs 31, Brighton 23. Corners, Spurs had 9 to Brighton 6. Fouls conceded, Spurs 14, Brighton 13. Yellow cards, Spurs received 2, Brighton received 3. The attendance was 61,445. Match time, 104 minutes, 17 seconds. Ball in play, 57 minutes, 34 seconds. Now for a report from the Sunday Mirror, and it says here, Magic Johnson, Bren, late winner for Angie's gutsy battlers. Of course, Brighton took the lead after 17 minutes through Pascal Gross scoring from the penalty spot. Sarr equalised for Spurs in the 61st minute. Johnson, of course, got the winner in the 96th minute. It says here, Brennan Johnson's late strike was Tottenham's third 90th minute winner in the Premier League this season. Brighton 20 and Spurs 19 have both scored and conceded in more different Premier League games than any other sides this season. Now for a double-page spread from the Sunday Times, and it's got this great picture here of Richarlison and Brennan Johnson celebrating at the end. The main heading states, after 6 weeks and 60 minutes, Son's back in style. That ball Sonny plays, that's a world-class player finding the right pass. In this report, it says there were 10 seconds left of the 6 minutes added on when Heung-min Son fired the ball to the back post, where Brennan Johnson was stood with the net gaping for 95 minutes. Tottenham had huffed and puffed against Brighton, creating chance after chance. After 6 weeks away and 60 minutes, here sat on the bench, Heung-min Son provided the moment that mattered. That was the difference between a good forward and an elite one, between a disappointing draw and a last gasp win. Brennan Johnson couldn't miss. Now, the player ratings from the Sunday Times today. Vicario a 7, Pedro Porro, Romero and Udogie all with 6s. They have given Mickey van der Ven a 5 out of 10. Wow. They have also given Bentancur a 5 out of 10. They have only given Pape Matar Sarr a 6 out of 10. Wow. He was my man of the match, if I'm honest. And most people's man of the match. James Maddison 7, Kulusevski a 7, Richarlison a 6, Timo Werner a 6. And lastly, let's hear from Tottenham Hotspur head coach Ange Postecoglou. This is what he had to say straight after the game.
Yeah, pleased. Obviously pleased with getting a win, and I thought, probably deserved it in the end with the endeavours. But fair to say, first half wasn't great. Part of that was because Brighton are a good side. They're well coached, very disciplined, and we weren't. We just took a few liberties with our football and our effort, our work rate. There was a lot of things that we kind of been really good at this year. We just didn't do in the first half. I thought the second half was obviously a lot better. Makes it difficult when you're chasing the game because the opposition are always capable of catching you on the break, but. I thought for the most part we handled it well, and I guess pleasing that we kind of had guys who could come on and make an impact for the game, and I thought that happened. Yeah, very important. I said, I think at the beginning of the year, fair to say, we won a few games late because of that, and we have that capability now, putting guys on who can make an impact, and I thought they did today, but it also keeps guys on their toes if they're not performing, and gives me some options.
How much did the team draw on the last game of Brentford when you're in a similar position? To keep going, to get the goals?
Yeah, look, I don't think, I don't question the guy's sort of character and mentality. We've done that a number of times this year, but like I said, I was really disappointed with the way we went about the first half, and you can't get away from that. And we've got to this point because of certain things we do, and I was disappointed we went away from that. But you can't question the character like that. The response was positive. It's very easy in that kind of scenario to sort of go in your shell or feel sorry for yourself, but I've never felt that with this group. I think they always respond in the right way when sort of given that sort of guidance, and I felt they took it on board in the second half, and it made a difference to the game. Well, it should be, and I said the press conference that we've got that platform, but you still got to do it, and maybe we're guilty of that. Maybe we thought we'd just roll out there today because we've got a strong squad and things that happen, but there's opposition out there, and like I said, Brighton are a good side, and we didn't have the right mindset, and it doesn't matter what kind of players you got, what kind of squad you got. If you go away from the important things that get you to where you are, then it kind of becomes meaningless. So, as I said, I think the second half was better, and that gives us a little bit more of kind of impetus and momentum to keep going. And as I said, I guess it keeps everyone on notice because we do have options now. Yeah, look, it's I wasn't trying to be flippant the other day, but it is. I mean, if you look at all my teams historically, they've always done that because kind of the way we approach it is that the clock and the scoreboard shouldn't dictate how you play. So if that's your mentality, we should always be looking for goals, irrespective of sort of whether we're winning 1-0 or losing 1-0. Now, sometimes that kind of feels counterintuitive when you're winning 1-0, but I think it helps you in games like this when you're chasing the game, because really you don't have to change anything. There's no instructions for me. The players know, well, this is what we do anyway, so it doesn't mean a major shift. And I think if you're trying to become a team that's dominant and wins games of football, I just felt I'd rather err on that side than sort of try and protect things that you have. I'm not really sure what confident. I was putting on some good players and guys who can make an impact. But again, they've got to do that, and especially in that sort of midfield front third, we've been pretty limited lately in terms of what we can do, just to give us a little bit more energy. Because obviously, like I said, Brighton were doing well, but they're working really hard to stay in the game, and they're going to get tired. And then the fact that we could bring on at least 2 attacking players who are going to be a threat, and it maybe looks simple, but that ball that Sonny plays, that's a world-class player who in a clutch moment finds the right pass. You can't do that if you can't bring him on if it's somebody else, and even Brendan getting on the far post, we worked really hard with him to do that. So it's not about confidence. I feel like with the squad we have for today and hopefully moving forward, is that we do have that ability, irrespective of where the game's at, to finish games strong. Rachel? No, I don't think so. I mean, Destiny went off, but I'm not sure if it was cramp, but everyone else was okay as far as I know. Sorry. Rachel?
We've got Sonny back after a lot of games. Was there any worries about fatigue for him, or was it always your intention to bring him on in the second half?
No, we were worried about fatigue. That's why we brought him on in the second half. So, he was ready to play, he wanted to play, but, if you look at, their 2 of their games went to extra time. Last game was pretty draining as well. So the fact that, we had options, I mean, if we were desperate, he probably would have started, but the fact that we had other options meant we could protect him, and I think it was better for him that he kind of came on and played the minutes he did.
Dan, last one, please.
Andrew, not to expect it from Sonny, but after the point when you had it at the 8th touch,
Yeah, and look, he's maybe the nation he plays for works against him, but I think he's a world-class player. You look at his record in the Premier League, the toughest league in the world, and his goal contributions, irrespective of how the team's gone through the time he's been here, have always been right up there. Even this year, before he left, I think he was probably the best attacking player in the competition, just my opinion, obviously, but certainly he'd be up there. And like I say, he's a world-class player, and I thought we did well to cover his absence. Richie obviously, stepped up in terms of goal threat and a few other players, but to have a world-class player back for the run-in is brilliant for us.
Okay.
Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you listen to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Come on, you Spurs.